Hi guys, what I'm going to discuss is about the fall. What is the fall? The fall is a breaking away from man and God. So what caused the fall? What is the reason for the fall? Actually, the reason for the fall is that it's a misuse of sexual love. Love is a two-edged sword. Can be used to chop both ways. If it's not directed properly, then what happens is it leads to destruction. So this is what happened in the beginning of mankind when man was created. That is the first man and the first woman, Adam and Eve. Let's look at what really took place. Because what I want to talk really about is not the dynamics of the fall. I want to talk about the results, the effects, what we have today, and that is we call it fallen nature. And this fallen nature is a thing that has been going right throughout generations from generations, and we ourselves experience a fallen nature. It's not original nature; it is fallen nature. So it's like what happened. What happened when God created the world? Actually, in Genesis it says that God did not create evil. We say it says that no, everything that God created was very good. He didn't say it was good. He said it was very good. So that means there was no evil at all. It was good, and His creation was good. But the reason that man fell is something else that caused them to fall. And we have to understand that God was not alone. He had angels with him before the creation of man and woman. Uh, so the angels were like a ministering beings. They were put there. God had a plan. God had an idea. Because when you create something, you have a blueprint, and that is why I think in John 1:1 it says, "In the beginning was the Word." Like in the beginning was the Logos, and the Logos became flesh, and so on, so forth and so forth. So this is what we got to understand. What constituted the fall and what happened. Let's look at when God had created the angelic world, and when He created the angelic world, it was a different world altogether. The angels had a direct access to Him, and they were like ministering beings. They knew that one time in creation there used to be there is his only son, his only son and daughter will be born, will come into existence. That's Adam and Eve. So let's look what happened. When Adam and Eve came into the scene, then the angels could not go to God directly. They had to go through Adam and Eve. So like that created like kind of resentment, especially in the archangel Lucifer, because God created three archangels, um, like angel Gabriel, angel Michael, and Lucifer. Lucifer was the angel of wisdom, and as say Michael is the angel of love, and Gabriel is the angel of will or angel of law. So what happened was like when the angel of wisdom, that is Lucifer, like he wanted to go to God directly because he could not go through God to his son. So the same principle we can see what happening in the family federation, and also in gender life altogether. Because when somebody new comes into being, then it's difficult to relate to that person because we have been here from the beginning of this organization, but somebody new has come, so we can't go through him to the boss. We feel like we are greater than him. We are greater than so that's the angel also felt we are greater than Adam. We live with God all our existence, we lived with God. But now these guys have come. We can't go through him. So it's the same thing that we see in the regular world, in the family federation as well. What happened in the family federation? If you think of it, right? There was father was there, and father had a special relationship with the leaders. The leaders were all around the father, and they were always in commune with father, and they were like enjoying that relationship. So when, but they knew at one time that the father is going to appoint a heir and successor, that is going to appoint his son. One son will be appointed, and then they will have to obey that son and go back to and go to him through the son. So this is the principle. But what happened was when Rev.Moon ascended into the spiritual realm, then things did change, because the people who are in the archangelic position, they could not relate. They could not relate to the son to go to father. So therefore they had a back door. The back door was um, like getting hold of his wife, and that's how, it's really brought about the fall again. So this is the reality of our lives as well, because we cannot go through you cannot go through someone who knew. That's why even Jesus said, no, the first will be last, and the last, says the the last will be the first will be last, and the last will be first. So it's like, is it five or first in, first out? No, it's not five. It's like five low, I think. The first in, last out. So it's like it's like that. As Jesus said, no, you will be the first will be the first will be last, and the last will be first. It was like, if he gave a parable, like one like he said that there were laborers in the field, and some laborers, they had worked all day, and then some other laborers came, and they worked only for a few hours, and then the master of the field, when the wages came, they were paid equal, and the people who are labored all day, they complained. And that's why Jesus said that the first will be last, and the last will be first. So this is very clear, because, like, like Hunjanim, okay, he's the heir and successor, because Father anointed him, like God anointed Adam and Eve to be his embodiment, not the angels. And the angels were supposed to serve them, and they were, Adam and Eve were to dominate the angels in love. So this is what really happened in the Garden of Eden, and the same that we can see in society as well, because people cannot respect somebody who's new to the environment. Instead of supporting them, they try to be the masters over them. And this is exactly what happened in the Garden of Eden, because the angel became the lord of them. He controlled them. He controlled them through the woman, in the same way, like you can say the family federation. I mean, that is which also control the movement through Eve. And this is what happened. You see, the archangels, the Lucifer, controlled God's children through through the feminine object. That's the woman. And it's interesting, because God gave Adam the commandment. So when God gave Adam the commandment, Adam was responsible for it, and Adam may have passed it on to Eve, that you shall not eat. So when we look at it, when they ate of the fruit, what did Eve say? What did Adam say? No, Adam said that no, it was he did not take responsibility, that I fell, I'm sorry, I did, but he said, no, he multiplied. He said, no, the woman caused me to fall. The woman caused me to eat of it. And then the woman said, no, the serpent caused me to eat. So they did not take responsibility themselves, because responsibility was given to man, and not the angels. Angels were not responsible. Eve was, that Lucifer was not responsible. It was Adam and Eve is responsible, because they were given the commandment, not Lucifer. I mean, you can say in the fall, Lucifer should have, you know, even if Lucifer said, no, you can eat of it, you'll be wise. But it was the man's responsibility. It was his responsibility. No, I cannot eat. God said you shall not eat, so I shall not eat. And she should not listen to the angel or Lucifer. Even same with Adam. Adam also should not listen to his wife when he said not to eat. But he did. And this caused the problem. Really, we know it's not a literal fruit. It's a symbolic fruit, because we know what Jesus said in his words. He said, "Not what goes into the mouth defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth defiles a man." So what comes out of the mouth is slander, gossip, etc., etc. So this is the thing, that what comes out of the mouth is from the heart, and in this case, the heart was corrupted. Like Paul says that no, any other sin you commit is out of the body, but the sin of sexual immorality is committed in the body. So this is a problem. This is a problem that people don't understand. That when they fall, they spiritually become dead. I mean, this is what we see. Like we say that we say the sin that Adam and Eve committed was not eating of a literal fruit. It's eating, or it is the sexual act between Lucifer and Eve, and then the physical act. The spiritual act was when Lucifer and Eve, and the spiritual act was between Adam and Eve. So there was two falls, the fall, a spiritual fall and a physical fall. First came the spiritual fall, and that is where Cain represented. And the other fall was God meant to happen. It was meant to happen, but it was not meant to happen. Um, it was meant prematurely. It was meant to happen in a mature state, when Adam and Eve had reached perfection, when God could have given them the blessing. Then that was the time that it should have happened. But the problem is, it happened prematurely, and that's why we have God is that Satan, or Lucifer, became the god of the world, and we inherit his lineage. So we got to understand that the death cause, it's not like, we say uh, it's it is a spiritual death, that was caused by the fall, and caused with us eating the fruit, because Adam and Eve should have not committed it, because their eyes they could not see what was good and what was evil. They were totally blind, and they were totally cut away from God. And God spoke to them. He spoke to them in the garden. He said, what have you all done? Did you all eat the fruit? And they had to admit that they blamed each other, and this was the cause of the human suffering. And that's why we suffer today, because of the original sin of Adam and Eve. It's passed down the lineage from Adam's generation, from Cain and Abel, from Seth onwards. So this is the reason what I want to talk about. That's very important, because it is a continuum. Because when you think of it, like the last Like the first will be last and the last will be first, which means that it will continue because so once the last becomes first, then it's a cycle again the last becomes first. So the people we say in an organization we have employee some employees have been in the company for a long time. Suddenly another a new hire is being recruited to the company, and that new hire, the people, the older staff should be able to support the new recruit and build him up and build up in knowledge in the organization. And once he gets old and once other employees get old, then somebody else will come. So it's like a continuum in the cycle. And this is what God wanted to happen. Not arrogance to be taken place. Because in a way, Lucifer was arrogant because he could not bear that temptation to seduce God's children, seduce Adam, seduce Eve, and then Adam. He was like the like you say because Eve was very young. He was in a teenage age. So this is speculation. Rev.Moon has said that Eve was in a teenage, about 17 or 16. So the Satan was the first pedophile. So this is the reason that we have so much sexual immorality in this world today. So if as long as human beings can separate from it, the more wiser they will become. They want that is a pleasure that it should be enjoyed in marriage marriage between one man and one woman to procreate and to enjoy that kind of oneness that God made, because God made them as one flesh, male and female. So this is the thing that people have got to understand, that the fall created many things. The human heart became very corrupted. So when the human heart became corrupted, so all sort of evil started to multiply from it. You think of the Bible, what it says, from the heart, what pours off from the heart: adultery, licentiousness, um, thievery, uh, robbery, you name it. All sort of evil deeds come from the human heart. It's because the human heart was tainted from the beginning of the fall. And this is why many people uh, like to remain celibate. They don't want to get married because if they remain celibate, then they can experience the love of God very much. It's not saying that you should to achieve spirituality or to be one with God, that you should be able to be celibate. No, that is not what we are saying. Celibacy is a choice, but it is better. It is better to Paul says it's better to no to if you cannot control your desires, it's better to get married. But if you can do it, then it's better for your spiritual. And that is why we have Catholic priests, we have Buddhist monks who do not want to get indulge in this kind of licentious behavior, or to have a relationship with the opposite sex. So we have to realize that this is the cause of the fall, and the fall is very 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 detrimental to human life and human growth. And that is why we see so much evil today. Like there is uh, yeah, there is especially the three W women's three W women song and wine. So women are basically the problem. in society because it's an attraction to the male folk. Love is a thing that can ruin a person's life. Even people who have become heroes, they have become zeros really, because what happened is they because of the opposite, because of love, because of sexual love, or eros love, or I mean they have they're being seduced, and they give out state secrets, and so many things have happened, and that's how you can break a society by this kind of licentious behavior. So this is a reality. We are seeing in the Bible. We see what happened to Samson and Delilah. It was the same thing. It was sometimes what happened to the Jews as well. They also fell into licentious behavior, and they were captured. So this is where we had to be careful. Even David also fell into this kind of behavior, this kind of licentious behavior. So we have to really think about it, be strong, and we we have to have one man, one woman. That is the norm, and that is the reality, because you have to experience that. You have to be able to procreate. You procreate only with your wife, with the one that God gives you, and the one that you are married from a youth. So it is so important to understand this fact about the fall, and about the results of the fall. What are really happening? What is the thing that really dominates people's lives, and what is there in the evil world when you think of it? Because people don't realize, especially if you're not spiritually educated, if you're not, you can just fall for it because you don't care about you don't care about your spirituality. You don't care because you think you're just only physical. Then you just be like an animal. You don't mind anyone. So this is the reality, because humans there's so many things that have been done with the sexual organ. That is why also you can take, for example, circumcision. Circumcision also it relates to a symbolic means of cutting away that organ, cutting up a tip of that organ. That is to really to to segregate yourself from this kind of world. So this kind of lineage. That is why Muslims and even Jews, they circumcise themselves because of this reason. Religiously they circumcise. So there are so many things in a spiritual life that relates to the fall that happened from the first man and woman. So thank you for listening, and I hope I can improve a lot on this podcast, and I hope that I will continue uh, continue doing this. So I should think of another topic that is what we as unificationists proclaim. So thank you very much, and God bless you all.